Auntie. She called me auntie. She said, yeah, because Ashley, and they are my aunties, but you're my auntie. You're my auntie. I love the way she did that. Have you been invited? Bread and water, piece of cake of figs, 2 clusters of raisins. Have you? Oh, have you been invited? See, God said, while you are in the house, I love this because I got the opportunity to gather and gain passion, right, for the lesson while I was in their house. Gain passion for the lesson. Not get upset about the fact that I could not walk, but gain passion for the lesson. Gain passion for it instead of waiting. I got in that mode of thinking, right? I started to accept the break. The break. I started to accept the break, right, of it. I said, how many of you are ready to accept God's breaking of you? He said, I want to break you, and then I want to day break you. Break your own day if you wish you could, if you want to, right? Because if you want to, you can get up. Because God said, when you start your day, I am breaking it, right? The lung kabara. God just said, I just saw it in my mind. The jailer was sleeping when the shaking and the foundations got tore up. But at midnight still starts morning. At midnight, there were found praying and worshiping. I've prayed all night before here. I prayed all night before. I love it. Try it in your house, right? Just give God that much. Give him God. I know I'm supposed to sleep with God, but I just want to spend the time with you. Do you know what he will do, right? He will take your pain. See, some of us, we pass on the lesson, right, because of the pain, when you should get more passion for the lessons, right? We pass on the lesson. You should get more passion for the lessons, and then God will lessen your pain. Get it with me one more time. We pass on the lesson, right, because of the pain. When God said, if you get more passion for the lesson, then he will lessen, as Lessen, your pain. He will lessen it. He will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. And God said, I see it. I see an ephah of flour. Ooh, right? But a key inside of it. I see an ephah of flour, but a key inside of it. Why do I see a key? A key. Remember that? Mommy, a key. Why do I see a key in it? God said, because of how he said he will open the windows of heaven and pour you out one blessing. He said that will open up a door. That will open up a door to me. He said I'll give you a key that will open up a door to me. I'll give you the key that Peter had. I'll give you the key that Peter had. He dumped the ephah flour on Peter's head, and the key was inside of it spiritually, right? And Jesus even said that did not come from man, that came from my Father which is in heaven, and I give you keys to the kingdom. Access. God said, access come with a key. See, he gives you, because God gives you a key, right? You have the right mindset, then you can open up the door with your mouth, right? And then you get from Jesus. Because Jesus, I give you keys. Jesus would then give you keys to the kingdom, and you get access. And what does access provide you? Access opens up the gates. Say la. He said, drop the ephah. The key is in the ephah of flour, of bread. And once he drops that ephah on you, there's a key inside of it. You get the ephah, you go to the door, and you open it. Once you open the door with your mouth, I say you to Christ, the Messiah, the Son of the living God. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's the key. The key is in your mouth, right? So once you do that, Jesus recognizes it, and he say, and I give you keys. And I, in front of Satan's face, I give you keys. Keys, right? Keys. I give you keys. I'm trying to say it so you guys can understand it, so you guys can hear it. The S on the end of it is Keys, right? You got a key in the ephah, but then Jesus gives you keys depending on what you do with the key, right? If you open the right door, you get keys, right? When you want to price it right, you come on down, right? You don't go down and then win a car and then say, okay, they got doors, right? And then you go open up the right door, and the car's behind one door, and you open up the door with the kitchen arrangement. That means you get the kitchen arrangement. You're not getting a car. And they'll taunt you because they say, look what was behind door number 3. And then they'll open that up. And then Drew Carey will be like, look, you ain't getting no car. And Bob Barker will be like, you ain't getting no car. You ain't getting a car. And Bob Barker come back and he dance with them like, you ain't getting no car. Guess what? You ain't got no car. Right? So then, you ain't got no car. That's it. Because you used your key for the wrong door. Just because you got a key don't mean you get to open up just because you got a key doesn't mean you get a car. You have to open up the right door. You have to say the right words. What have I been training you to do these 3 years? Hallelujah. He's on the way to Calvary. He said, what have I training you to do? He said, who the men say that I am? Makes me think about when my pastor, I'll just be there with him, and he'll just like, it makes me think about Hebrews 12, 2. And I looked at the last time he said it, and he started reciting it, and he looked at me, he was like, yes, say it. And I was like, ugh! I couldn't help myself because it was in me, right? You have a shepherd around you. What has he been teaching you? You show him the money in your mouth. The I testimony is in your mouth. I got a key in my mouth. So if I'm given the key by God with the eat for the food, I then will take the key out of my mouth and use it to open the right door. When I get to the right door, Jesus standing behind it and he has keys. I give you keys to the kingdom. Access. When you see access, that's a gate thing. Because you pass the door, you pass the instructionary door situation. I invite you to, or you're a patient, I invite you to open up this door. You pass that door, question. Now you gotta, spin that wheel. You gotta know what you're doing. So you can get to the gates. You get the gates. Now that you have answered the question properly, I need you to show me, though, that you know what to do as a gatekeeper. I said, is this why they every time I hear about Peter, oh, that's Saint Peter. I told my sister, I said, I'm a saint too. You know, man, you don't get it, Joshua? I'm a saint, you a sinner. That's how it works. I'm a saint too. I believe. I'll be ever with Jesus. I believe. I'm a saint. You start believing too, you can be a saint too, but I'm not sure about you because you ask too many questions. So don't tell me about Peter no more. He is a saint just like me. But Saint Peter. What you mean Saint Peter? He is a saint. Saint is not his first name. Bartholomew was his last name. That's in my mind because I got to sign the last name and everything, right? How we know the Davids in my church apart. The prayer Hadigians. I think prayer Hadigians. I think pastor and I'm talking to him all week. Everything I learned from him. So prayer is that one, music is that one, and preaching and doing everything is that one. But they got last names. So I gotta give them Peter one. I got Peter Bartholomew's. But he would be Peter Bartholomew's if that was his last name. He would not be. Okay, let's just be honest about it. He's Simon Bar-Jonah. They did have last names. It's just not the way you think. Simon Bar-Jonah, Peter Bar-Jonas, right? They have a last name, but it's just not the way you think. When you come and call him Saint Peter, what's his first name? It throws me off a little bit because if you call me Saint, then you are telling me to change the wrong part of the name. Y'all knew I was going somewhere. Come on, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy-ish. So, if you got a patient, Peter, invitation, change your name. Change your name. He's pretty good with it though. Peter took it and kept it and ran with it. Give me that. Thank you. Y'all better not call me Simon no more. And Peter. What? Peter. Oh, Peter. he ran good with it. He didn't do like Jacob did with it. Jacob kind of played with it a little bit and then licked it, tasted it. I'm not sure about it. I put it back for right now because I was named Jacob. I kind of like Jacob, but then I want to still, because if I take on the name Israel and become a prince, can I still steal from you like I want to? I want to still steal from you. Still steal from you like I want to. I don't know if I want to drop Jacob that easily, that quickly. I want to keep Jacob and pick up Israel when I need to, and that doesn't work like that. Peter did the right thing. He picked it up properly. But if you tell me he is Saint Peter, Bar-Jonas, right? Then Saint becomes the first name, Peter becomes the middle name, and Bar-Jonas means the last name. So his mama wanted to get to him, Saint Peter! come get something to eat, you know. Saint Peter! See, I call him Saint? No, I faint. That ain't the way it works. You don't call, so you gonna call him saint? Lois don't call me that. Lois don't call me. So anyway, Lois call you, she don't call me. She don't like me. So when I look for people that don't like us to call us, right? If Caiaphas called out the name Peter, he still wouldn't answer anyway. He called Simon, right? He called Simon. And then why is he ignoring me? Because you did not call him the right name. His name ain't Simon anymore. His name is Peter. Caiaphas. You don't want the stupid name still up here. Caiaphas. What does that mean? Fist. Like fist, like ball, fist in the back, in your last name? I don't like it. You call the right name. I think it was a blessing. Because every time anybody changes your name, they train you to answer to another. My God. Woo! God of night, get it out of God of heaven, you better say this thing. And when we trained a woman with the issue of blood, she trained them. I can't even say it because God is excited by inciting me. When he changed the woman with the issue of blood's name, right? She had no name, and he called her daughter. So unless somebody cried out daughter, then she did not turn around. And unless it was in the voice of that person, she did not turn around. Right? There are certain people that call me certain things, or certain people that call my name. I do not turn around unless I hear them. So, I'll wait for the 3. If you know the 3, then you are close to me. If you know the 3, and you could say the 3, and you could call the 3, will she answer her? Will she answer him? Will she say anything? I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. If you know the 3, right? See if you know the 3. If you know the 3, then you can call me, right? And I will answer if you say the 3 automatically and always. Why? Because if you know the 3, that means you are close to me. His mother knew the 3. Saint Peter Barjona. What you call him before dinner? Saint. Right? Because it's St. Peter. Ain't nobody else in there saint, right? It's just a grouping. It's only one person, right? That could be saint at a time. So if she called him, she can't, and everybody else had dropped that name. So her other son, Andrew, right? And then she had to be Saint and Andrew. That's just messed up, Tasha. That's messed up, right? But okay, we'll go with that. So you can't call him Saint Andrew because you know that that's Saint Peter, and that's got to be Saint Peter, right? That should be Apostle Andrew because Apostle Andrew was the apostle, right? So if the mother, she make a fool, it's Apostle Andrew, Bartholomew, and Barjonas, right? And then the Saint Peter, Barjonas, right? For the church, right? Oh, this is the church of the God in Christ. Before you can join in, you got to be born in it. This is the church of God in Christ. My son is the church, but I got to call him Saint to get him come get some food. And then I'll listen because they're 5 years old. They're still playing stick ball. They didn't have no kick ball. They were playing stick ball because the ball was on the rocks. So they couldn't really kick it, right? They hurt their toes. So they was outside playing it. And Peter, right? Saint Peter Barjonas and Apostle Andrew Barjonas was up by 3 points. But they didn't have points back then. They had what? Hebrews. I don't know. They was up by 3 Hebrews, right? To a nickel. It was up by 3 Hebrews to a nickel, right? So then she come out outside. Saint Peter! So that's the first and middle name. First and middle name time, right? You didn't listen. I called you 5 minutes ago. You kept playing that stick game. What stick game, mama? I don't know. Now she really gets angry and she wants to lose the last name, except she doesn't know it. Why? Because if you want to put Saint and Apostle in front of the name, then I have to drop the last name off in the middle. Middle becomes the last. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. But the middle here becomes the last. And what does it matter anyway? And St. Peter, right, is the one sitting, I understand a little bit. And St. Peter is the one, now, Tasha, is sitting at the gates, right, playing the piano. He's sitting at the gate, and you only get in if St. Peter lets you in, then. Peter like Matthew. So what's going to happen when Matthew get up there? Peter like Caiaphas. What if Caiaphas got saved? But you think that's what happened? I gotta have the man at the gate that forgave everybody, that gave the edict to forgive. That we know he died with forgiveness on his heart. That he died with the option and the objectivity. He said, I'm gonna forgive because I want you to do it. I want you to forgive just like me. I'm dying on the tree so that you will forgive. He died so that we would forgive. So for me to have one lesser man sitting there playing the piano. Bread and water, piece of cakes, of figs, and 2 clusters of raisins. What? That's the menu. Did I just ask myself what and answer it? Yes, I did. And I kind of meant it a little bit. I did. Was I really wondering? What? A little bit. I was answering another question in my head. Have you ever done that? Been walking around talking and answering your own questions inside your head. That's what Grandma said she was doing while she was talking to herself. I called her talking to herself and I said, Grandma, you need to be locked up. She said, no, I'm asking, I have questions in my head. And as I have questions, I am answering them. I have to stay on top of these questions in my head because I have all of you at my house. Oh, I said, okay. Got me being a little bit rambunctious, but okay. I was just saying you need to be locked up mentally. I didn't say be locked up physically. My God. Grandmas. Bread and water, piece of cake of figs, 2 clusters of raisins. 2 clusters of raisins. Are you serious? The beautiful part about this is that this was the menu. And this was all that was required. I looked at it, I know I look at things oddly. I couldn't get past it because I looked at the menu, get me a menu. And I said, does this match with this? Is this related to this at all? Does this menu coincide with another menu that we've heard? 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 sheep already dressed. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this mess. I don't know if I'm going to make it through it because this is too much. The sheep, right? They're going to 5 sheep already dressed. So 5 seers. What is a seer? No? Okay. 5 seers of roasted grain, 100 clusters of raisins, 200 cakes of figs, loaded on donkeys. Now there's so much in here. It's just a menu layout. When you look at it, I mean, she came to him and she started filling his mouth with it. She said, all right, okay, you king. She got down on her knees and she was like, you king. Oh, he's eating. He said, you like the cake? Oh, okay, Abigail, you know, just throwing the food inside of his mouth. Abigail, this food is good. Okay, no, you ate your food. You put food in your mouth. Okay, I don't know. This is a good cake. Did you make this from the box? Like, come on. She got some Duncan Abigails, not Duncan Hines. I said, Abigail was running a restaurant. Abigail was running a restaurant because Nabal refused to do it. So Abigail got up and did it. And then she apologized. And then she apologized. And then she apologized. And then she apologized for her husband. Okay, this is good. This is good food. This is 1 Samuel 25. 1 Samuel 30, we get a different menu. One much harder to understand. This is what she's feeding him with. I mean, she shoved it in his mouth. Okay, I can't breathe, Abigail. Okay, that's some good. Did you make those yourself? Did you feed? Did you grow those? Wow, Abigail, you are talented. You know, he couldn't stop eating. Who could? She was shoving the food in his mouth while apologizing. I apologize that my husband is that stupid. I apologize that he didn't give you the food when you asked for it. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 sheep already dressed, 5 seahs of roasted grain, 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and loaded them on donkeys. And she said to her servants, go on before me. I'm coming after you. What does that sound like? Shunammite woman. Slack not my rod, thy rod unless I bid thee. Right? But she did not tell her husband Nabal. So it was as she rode on the donkey. Who does that sound like? The Shunammite woman. Slack not my rod, thy rod, unless I bid thee. So it was as she rode on the donkey that she went down under cover of the hill. And there were David and his men coming down towards her. And she met them. Now David had said, surely in vain I have protected all that this fellow has in the wilderness. They try to remind you what David had said to himself. Surely in vain, watch. Surely in vain have I protected. That's because David like that word surely, right? Surely, goodness and mercy. That's Psalm 23, right? He liked that word surely. Surely in vain I have protected all that this fellow has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed, all that belongs to him, of all that belongs to him. And he has repaid me evil for good. Ooh. May God do so, and more also to the enemies of David, if I leave one male of all who belong to him in thy morning light. Abigail wasn't a male. Ha! Now when Abigail saw David, she dismounted quickly from the donkey, fell on her face before David, and bowed down to the ground. So she fell at his feet and said, on me, on me, my Lord, on me let this iniquity be. And please let your maidservant speak to your ears, and hear the words of your maidservant. Please let not my Lord regard this scoundrel Nabal, for his name is, so is he. Y'all know what Nabal means. Foe! Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, your maidservant, did not see the young men of my Lord whom you sent. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord lives, as your soul lives, and as your soul lives, since the Lord has held back from coming to the bloodshed and from avenging yourself with your own hand. Now then, let your enemies and those who seek harm from the Lord be as Nabal. What was she saying? Stop yourself. Break yourself. Him on Friday, Chris Tucker. Break yourself. Why? We are called to break ourselves. Break yourself. And they actually said, they needed to say Nabal, but Chris Tucker said, break yourself fool. You know, in the way that, it said in the ghetto of people that live in the ghetto. I want to say it nicely, so, break yourself, fool. Nabal should have broke himself. Because somebody should say, break yourself, fool, right? To Nabal. It would have been saying, break yourself, Nabal, break yourself, fool. But if I go up to somebody now and I'm saying, break yourself, fool, and I say, break yourself, Nabal, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. First of all, my name's not Nabal. I doubt it. I question it. Really? But she said, stop yourself, break yourself. Don't be as my husband, for as he is, folly is with him, right? But Abigail had it hot, right? Because Nabal said no, she went and said yes. Which meant what? All of the production that was going on that campus, right, that they were living on, I mean, they were laid up, right? Because Abigail's had the mind for it. So I took that even into the further story. I was like, okay, so she must have keeping David lit, right? Because she had the ability, right, to run restaurants. Because she jumped off that donkey and she was saying she was shoving food in his mouth. Oh yeah, you like this cake? You like this? Talk all about. I said I was going to open. I said I was going to kill y'all. But I promise I'm going to the box cake. I taught myself. If I saw myself, I see the box. It's a big box in front of her, and it's a big box. It's not box cake like Grandma makes, like Duncan Hines. This is Abigail Hines. So it's a big box, like a shoebox, not shoebox, a big box like you could put a person in. Big box of cake. She was feeding from some cake. He couldn't resist. Why? Because Grandma said the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Now I think that's very deceptive, Grandma. Sometimes I think she was right. And since I can't cook, so she was shoving food in his mouth. Here you go. Because if I can't cook it, I could get people to make it for me. And so strap it to the donkeys. And then we come down after and get what we need. But I don't want to go too much into it. But if you remember the Shunammite woman, right? She laid her son on the bed. She closed the door. She got her a donkey, not a horse. And I said that purposely on that blog because I said I still did not understand it. She had everything. Her gift was she was from the tribe of Issachar. They could perceive things, which means they were prophets. There were the prophets. A lot of prophets came from their area, but she didn't call herself a prophet. She saw herself being able to see. That's why she looked out the window, and her husband was there. She looked out the window and said, "I perceive that this is a man of God. I perceive this is a man of God that passes by this way all the time. Let us make a bed for him. Let us make a room for him. Let us. I perceive this. Let us." God kind of pricked my heart a little bit with that, because God said, women, you are prophetic and perceptive by nature, but the man, he perceives and he's prophetic, but on the other end, which means he gets the information that you get, but on the other end. You have to wait for him to catch up, right? Because you see it ahead of time, he sees it behind. I don't know how it works. I kind of see it the way the Joseph's dream. When Joseph dreamed that he was prophetic about taking Jesus and Mary back to Egypt, right? When he's prophetic about it, right? It says prophecy comes through dreams, right? So dreams is a form of prophecy. So when he was prophetic about it, in that he said, let's do this, right? It's not that he didn't get the message, he just got it in a different way than you did. And it was prophetic because of the fact that, and here's the thing, this to understand where it was on the back end. I say it was on the back end because Herod had already died. And the Holy Spirit said, then he enlightened Joseph and said, now take your family. But Mary probably already knew. That's the only issue I had with the Shunammite woman, because she did not bring her gift before her husband, right, and say, okay, what should we do? She said, I perceive that this is the man of God that passes before us all of the time. Let us.